Okay, time to have a look at my meat ant colony, Queen Opal, and let's see how the colony has been going over the last little while. Let's get into the video. Now, the last time that I did an update on this colony was the 2nd of December, so we're nearly at 2 months ago, and quite a lot has happened. Here's just the outworld. We can see one of the workers has come out of the nest and is just having a drink of that fresh sugar water. And I've got a couple of mealworms in there as well. It runs back inside just to tell the rest of the colony. And it doesn't take long before some more workers start to go, hey, what's in the outworld? We're going to go and see. And look at them start to come out, starting to pour out, knowing there's a fresh source of food readily available. Now, this is my mixture of sugar, raw sugar and water, which is just something that all of my ants like. And I'm using these liquid feeders to feed them. Now, the sugar water one there, that's one from Ant Shop Oz, and the one that I have over the back there, that's a Biformica from Ant Keeping Depot. Both very nice feeders. So here they are, they're just slurping up that mixture. You can see the abdomen, especially that one at the back there, just starting to expand a little bit in size as they fill up their social stomach with these important carbohydrates, energy for the colony. Not for the brood, but for the colony, for the workers and for the queen. Now the protein, which is those mealworms over the back there, that is going to be needed for the queen and the larvae to progress. So yeah, make sure that you feed your colonies both carbohydrates and protein. Now every species has a little bit of a difference of what it likes, so it takes a little bit of experimenting as well. Now in my last update, we're up to about 12 or 13 workers. Now as you can see already, we've got quite a few in the outworld. And here they go, they're wrestling with half of that mealworm, trying to drag it into the nest. So already you can see how many workers we have in the outworld. Things have exploded in this nice warm summer. Very humid that we're having, which is great for colony growth. So plenty of workers available here in the outworld, and we'll have a look in the nest. So stay tuned, we'll get a close-up look inside the nest, see what's going on there, and we'll have a little look at Queen Opal and one of the newly hatched or newly closed workers. Now, this species don't spin cocoons like some of the others. They actually just change from that larvae and transform into that worker, which is translucent, very clear and white, and then eventually they just awaken and they harden up and get those colors. So we'll have a little bit of a closer look. But here we can see they're just munching down on this mealworm. Now the mealworms for these guys, what I do is I just kill them instantly just by crushing the head, and then I cut them in half so they can get to the gooey insides. And here they are, they're just giving a little lick over the whole thing, trying to get to that nice protein in the middle. We can see those couple of workers there. Now, beautiful color, these meat ants, aren't they? They've got that sort of purpley red head. Iridomyrmex purpureus. Beautiful species and very famous in Australia. Very good at swarming, and a perfect example was just here. As soon as the first worker saw that sugar water, there was probably 10 to a dozen workers out here in the outworld in no time, which is really nice to see. So here you go, you can see just how many workers are out there in that little outworld. I'm going to probably have to give them a little bit of a bigger outworld, knowing the growth rate of this particular species. Well, let's have a closer look at the nest. Okay, so the nest. They're in one of these little Oz Ants acrylics, one of their older styles. And look how many workers we've still got in the nest compared to those ones on the outside. We're looking probably 20 to 30 workers in this colony now. Now that is less than 2 months, and it's gone from about a dozen workers to probably close to 30 workers now. So that is a good growth explosion, and there's plenty of brood here, ready and waiting to go. Now those first workers that have collected that important carbohydrates, the sugar water, filled up their social stomachs, and they've come back, and via trophallaxis here, they are feeding other workers in the colony, using their antennae to stroke each other and to get that very important sugars. There's Queen Opal, and we can see here's a little worker that has not been alive very long. You'll see the head there is that whitishy sort of colour. So plenty of brood here, which is fantastic. That is great to have. We know there's plenty more workers to come. The lifespan of these workers does not seem that long, so I'm going to have to try and work out how long that is though. You can see there we've got a little pile of eggs in the centre, which is nice, just newly laid. some larvae, and look at that. There is a new worker. Now you see there what I meant about that colorizing of them. They come out that translucent sort of color, and eventually their exoskeleton hardens up and they get that color coming through. And you can see here there's quite a few that are pale like that, which are just newly hatched or newly enclosed workers. A bit more trophallaxis happening here, as they needed that sugar water, and I'm glad I gave it to them. So that's really nice to see. But aren't they beautiful? These new workers here, you can see their eyes just stand out a lot, don't they, against that pale head. Beautiful. Now these queens are very nice queens. They can be quite aggressive too when you get them in the founding stage. But she's a beautiful queen, a good size. So the colony is doing really well. Got to keep that protein up to them, and I'm sure they will be expanding in no time. And hopefully, before we get into winter, we might even double the size again. So stay tuned for another update on them shortly. Here they go in the outworld. They are wrestling that mealworm. They are going to get that one inside, where they can easily access that protein inside the nest in safety, which is really interesting. You see the teamwork involved there. And as you know, ants are very strong, so they can pull anything inside that nest. Excellent. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this update. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel, and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And a huge thanks again to my wonderful Patreons for supporting the channel and making all things possible. It's really appreciated. So thank you Medical Carcass 9, John Redwood, K Single, and Gordon C. Well, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. There's a video there that YouTube's recommended for you, and one that I've picked that I think you might like. Appreciate you watching the video right the way through. It means a lot, and happy ant keeping.